guys, welcome to my channel. My name is ReadingBear and I hope you are ready for some more stories. And today, we'll take a look at some new IDontWorkHereLady content. If you enjoyed my content, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and post some bear emojis in the comment. And now, let's dive right into the stories.
The first story is titled, Apparently I Have the Devil in Me. So I went to my local bookstore and was in the manga section. A girl, maybe a few years younger than me, asked me if I could help her find Seiki K. And I told her that actually I highly doubt it because as far as I know there is no English version of the manga and I doubt this store would carry a foreign language version of Seiki K. But I would still look around for her. After looking through the sections I thought it could be in T, D, S. I told her, I don't think it's here, try another bookstore or look online. She thanked me and walked away. I didn't notice the lady next to me and she tapped my shoulder. Excuse me, could you help me find this Christian book? She smiled real big and I felt bad. Oh ma'am, I'm sorry, I don't work here. She looked confused and asked why I was helping that girl if I didn't. I explained I know a lot about manga and I could help here easily, plus I was already in the aisle. She snapped and yelled, "Are you scared of Jesus?" I was shocked. Why lie about not working here? Are you afraid of helping Christians? Follow me, I'm getting your manager. She grabbed my arm and I yanked it away. I walked to the door all while she yelled, "The devil is inside of you." I just wanted to get another volume of Horimiya. I'm not even anti-Christian. I'm so confused why she automatically went to the assumption that I was. Anyways, sorry if this was anticlimactic, but I felt like sharing. The next story is titled, Apparently Having My Keys and Credit Cards on a Lanyard Means I'm a Nurse. This happened several years ago when I was 16 to 17. I am now 24. I was spending the day at the hospital with my aunt because she was having gastric bypass surgery. I waited with her until they took her back to the operating room, then left to get some lunch. While I was standing waiting for the elevator, a woman walked up to me and asked me how to get to a specific area of the hospital. I told her I was sorry but I didn't know. She looked surprised and said, "But don't you work here?" I told her no, I was just visiting my aunt. And she said, "Oh, I thought you were a nurse, you have a lanyard." I would have sort of understood that, if it weren't for the fact that I was wearing extremely short cut-off jean shorts with the pockets hanging out the leg holes and an Avengers tank top. My lanyard had Spider-Man on it and I had about 10 keys and my debit card and driver's license on a card holder as well. I was also wearing multicolored Converse high tops. I looked like a dorky kid, and nothing like a nurse. It's crazy how some people think a name tag or a lanyard automatically means you work here. Kind of ironic because I am now a few months away from finishing nursing school and will soon be working as a nurse at that same hospital. The next story is titled, Lady Runs Over My Foot Because I Wouldn't Fetch Motor Oil for Her. Cast. Me, Angry Lady, Al, Confused Worker, CW, My Hero, MH. So, let me start by saying, I get mistaken for working at Walmart a lot because of a lanyard I wear. I keep my keys on a lanyard, and I usually wear it around my neck because it's easier to grab it and go when I need to get my car going again. And I guess because it's blue, a lot of people think it's for an employee tag. Usually, it's someone older just asking where something is, or if I can get something down from the shelf for them, and usually, I'll point them in the right direction. That, or someone realizes the mistake and apologizes. It's fun to hear from a manager at Walmart that I was a very helpful young lady because I helped get a set of dishes off of the third shelf for the lady with back pains, lol. This woman was much different. I had just gotten off work, so I wearing a black shirt with my company logo on it, and a pair of black jeans and black shoes. I had my purse sitting on my lap, and my lanyard around my neck. I was waiting to pick up a pile of Christmas gifts, and was exhausted from work, so I was pretty much dozing in this chair they had in their pickup area. This is usually where I get spotted. That was when I heard it. "Al, wake up, lazy girl." This sharp, angry voice, and I opened my eyes to see a woman who, if I hadn't heard her speak, would have thought she was a sweet old grandma. She had on this white and green striped shirt, a pair of jeans, and lots of necklaces, with her gray hair pulled back in a ponytail with cute little bangs. And she had 3 of those cheap little necklaces that you find at kids' birthday parties around her neck. Me. What? I was about half awake. "Al. You need to help me now. Get off your lazy ass and help me." Me. "What are you talking about?" She paid my question no mind. "Al. Go and get me motor oil." Me. "What? No, go get it yourself. Al. Furious. My son said that our car needs oil, and I'm not going all the way across the store for it. Do your job and go get it. The auto center was pretty far away, but the motor carts, from what I've seen, are pretty fast, and it's not like she had to walk. Me. 1. I don't work here, don't have to listen to you. 2. The employees here aren't dogs. They won't go fetch for you. Al. Now shouting. You don't get to talk to me like that. Go and get my oil. Then I want to speak to your manager. Me. I don't work here. I remembered the lanyard, and took it off to show her it only had my keys, and that it had a local college's name on it, since I got it a job fair at school. This isn't from this store. Al. Refuses to look at my lanyard. No. That is bullcrap. Do as you're told, or I will drag you to your manager myself. She grabbed my arm and tried to roll along with me, but I didn't want to deal with this. So, I ran. I pulled my arm away, and with what little energy I had from my mini-nap, took off running. She tried to follow me, but I was able to weave my way through a few of the clothes racks and hid from her as she shouted at me. I roamed the store a bit, looking for junk I probably didn't need, but could use, mostly avoiding her. Even made my way to the auto center and picked up a tire pressure gauge, since mine had broken, lol. I found myself in the crafts aisle, and had at this point, stuck my earbuds in, because there was a screaming kid in the area. I'm the oldest of 6, and I work in a restaurant as well as babysat. You can only take so much angry child. This also meant that I couldn't hear anything. So, I'm staring at some paints, when I see her out of the corner of my eye, at least her cart. She's really close to me, and before I can step away, she ran over my freaking foot. I don't know if any of you have ever had your foot run over by a motor cart, but it freaking hurts. It's not a very heavy piece of machinery apparently, about 25 pounds according to Google, but it hurts when that weight is on your bony as duck foot, especially with the 120 pounds this woman was adding to it, and the fact that I wasn't ready for this. So, I screamed. I was in shock, and it felt like she had shattered my foot, especially when her back wheels went over it again, and I screamed again. I had to sit down on one of the shelves and rip my shoe off, trying to alleviate some of the pain, while the Al was yelling at me. Al. That'll teach you to disrespect a customer, you little idiot. Now, go get my motor oil. Me. For the last ducking time, I don't work here. And you'll be lucky if I don't press charges on you. Finally, an actual employee, CW, came jogging around the corner, wearing a vest that had the logo on the corner and his name tag clipped on his chest. He looked entirely confused, which made sense. There was a crying 19-year-old taking off her shoe while a woman sat in a motor cart screaming at her. CW, are you okay, ma'am? He came over to me first, seeing as I pulled off my sock. My foot was swelling, and there was a little blood because my toenail had dug into my foot and cut it. Al. I need your manager. She should be fired. CW looked to me, confused. Me. Trying to catch my breath. When I start crying, I have the worst time stopping. She ran. Al starts shouting again. Al. She wouldn't get my motor oil. Get me your manager. The worker looked like he didn't know what to do. He had one person sobbing and sounding like she was choking. I do a weird gasping thing when I'm trying to catch my breath, it's hard to explain, while another was screaming at him. That was when she came. My hero, the mother of the screaming child from before, who had apparently been screaming because he fell down. Don't believe that for a second, mostly since I heard I want it, but I digress. She looked angry for me. MH. What the hell is the matter with you? She was pointing at Al. Why the hell would you run over some random girl's foot? Al. Pissed off, she's an employee. She needs to learn not to ignore customers. MH. She doesn't even have a name tag, you idiot. She's wearing a uniform for another company. What the hell made you think she worked here? Al. She is wearing a name tag. Look. She reached over and yanked my lanyard off of my neck, holding it out to MH, like she won or something. See? MH. Snatching my lanyard and showing it to her. Does that say Walmart to you? Al finally got a good look, and realized that there were only keys, and the letters on the lanyard had the initials of the college on it, and she turned white. MH turned to CW. MH. Get your manager and a first aid kit. Now. She sounded furious. CW ran off, looking a little relieved to finally have a direction to run into, and MH began to do the mom thing, where she examined my foot, and talked to me in a nicer voice. Al tried to scoot her way out of the store, but was blocked by the greeter. She was trying to take the motor cart, which is a big no-no. The manager came, and asked if I wanted police to get involved, or if I wanted an ambulance. I said no, I just wanted to get my things, an ice pack, and go. They let me sit in that comfy chair in the pickup waiting area, and gave me a 50% discount on my pickup stuff, letting me take the stuff I had picked up when walking around for free. I waited until the swelling in my foot had gone down, and watched the crap storm as Al tried to convince the manager that I was his inordinate employee, and that I needed to be fired. He instead banned her from the store, and told her if she came near his employees, she'd get the police called on her. MH got her husband to take their kid home and come back for her, and sat with me to make sure I was okay and could get home. It wasn't my driving foot, so I could drive okay, and I was able to limp my way to my car. My foot was a fun shade of black, purple, and a little blue for a little while, but my mom and stepdad, both in the medical field, don't think it's broken. It's been sore, but I probably won't end up taking it to a doctor. Best Christmas gift I ever got though, was watching the angry lady get her motor cart turned off and watch her go off, jumping around and stomping. The next story is titled, Karen Landed Me a Potential Future Job. When I was younger, around 14, I always wore collared t-shirts, often used as uniforms at most electronics store. I had just started a simple job elsewhere and was going to use my savings and first payment to buy my first self-built gaming computer. So I was in a computer electronics store, trying to learn and make a few plans. Doing this as efficiently as possible, I like to get hands-on, and it helps me think, plan better. As I was crouching over components, like Gollum, trying to select my own components for the very first time, this lady came up to me and tried to get my attention. Me hunching over, knee-deep in my own thoughts, she asked me if I work here. As I was as focused as I was, it slightly startled me and I jumped up and only managed to come up with a short, "UUUHMM." As I was going to ask her what she just said, not being able to actually make out the question she just asked. She continued to ask me if I could help her, and I don't blame her considering my appearance. Me just having entered the job market, I had received some service experience, and figured I might as well. The question probably couldn't be that hard, right? The following interaction ensued. M equals me, L equals lady, W equals worker, eventually. M. Yeah sure. What do you need? L. I am trying to find a laptop for my son, but I am completely lost. Seems fair enough, and a reasonable question to ask anyone with my appearance regardless of me working there or not. M. Oh okay. Were you thinking school laptop or general use? L. Well, it's more of a gaming laptop, really. M. Oh, okay. Do you have a budget? Or any other information that might be useful making a decision? L. Yeah, I have a budget of, insert mid-tier budget here, and I know he plays Team Fortress 2 and Roblox. Having just spent a few weeks learning and recently acquiring the knowledge of what parts are important for what, I could confidently answer. M. Oh great, that doesn't necessarily require the most expensive computer on the market. Have you looked at any options? L. Getting a slightly frustrated tone. No, that's what I came here to ask about. M. Well, have you looked at any of the laptops displayed at the section over there? Pointing to the 2 rows of demo laptops closer to the registers. L. Getting even more frustrated. No, I have no idea what I would be looking for, that's why I came over to ask. M. Okay, I'm sorry. Well, anything between a lower amount than budget, and your budget would probably have what you need. Just look for relevant specs at the time, and it would be more than enough for him. L. Can you join me so I'm sure? M. Figuring at this point, it shouldn't be a considerably longer interaction, and I could get back to my things. Just point out 3 options at 3 different prices, and I could leave. So I accompany her over to the laptop section. L. Okay, so which ones would be an option? M. Point to 3 different laptops. Make an effort to explain the differences in a short but precise manner. After concluding, I consider myself done. Beyond that, you could really just pick based on your budget. As I am about to leave, she says, so what can you do on pricing here? M. A little confused, quickly realizing the mistake that has just happened. Oh, I'm sorry, I think there's a misunderstanding. I don't. L. Oh come on, I know you guys have some leeway on the prices, what's the best you can do? M. No. You see. L. Oh, don't you dare be more condescending than you were earlier. That should account in the price too. Probably referring back to when she was getting flustered in the first place. M. A bit taken aback about what just happened. I don't. L. Oh, but I know you do. I know I can get a better one, if you just work out whatever you have to. What about that one? Could we do 20% here? That seems reasonable. M. You have to talk to. L. Fine, direct me to your supervisor. But you're coming with me. M. I don't work here. L. What do you mean? Why else would you be helping me? Now come on, let's bring this to the register, and get something done. As we proceed to the checkout, which was rather close, she is literally dragging my tiny little body along as I make an effort to explain the mishap. When we then get to the register and a worker sees this lady literally trying to push me behind the counter, they ask what is going on. L. Well, this young man is going to honor his word and sell me this laptop at a 20% discount. W. Oh, he doesn't work here. L. Well, why has he been helping me, and promised me a 20% discount then? Your company is now responsible to keep that. M. I tried to tell you I don't work here, and L. Whatever the case is, I will have this laptop for this price. W. I don't know what happened over there, but W continued to explain what is about to happen next. I managed to slide away as I see a manager approach. From what I could make out as I'm lingering in the area, trying to get back to my things, the lady got upset and left in a bit of a hurry. As I was getting back to my things, the manager approached me, and me thinking I was in trouble, I was about to apologize for making L think I worked there. He assured me I had nothing to worry about, and he had in fact watched me deal with this situation, and told me some customers are like that with the real employees too. He apparently admired the way I explained things to her, and asked if I ever needed a place to work, I would be welcomed back. I appreciated it, finished my planning and left. The next story is titled, Bothered in a Bookstore. This was ages ago, but I thought I'd share this here, since I still remember this irksome incident. Holidays coming up give me flashbacks sometimes. So this was in the mid-2000s and I was a 20-something working my way through college. I should note that I was in a popular bookstore chain, doing a bit of homework before I had to go and clock in. Now keep in mind I worked for a snack shop down the way from this bookstore. I was wearing a blue uniform that looked nothing like this chain's dress code. Heck, I even had my school backpack with me. Suddenly, a middle-aged lady steps up and asks if I knew where a certain section of books was. Politics, I believe? Me, very confused. Ma'am? I'm sorry, but I'm not sure. Maybe if we could find an employee they could tell you. Lady. But you seem to work in this mall, and everyone else seems to be busy. Surely you can point it out to me. Me. Well, you see ma'am, I'm not trying to be rude. I just have no idea where that section of books would be. I don't work here, and that's not something I'm really keen on. For example, I could tell you the anime section is here, the foreign languages section is over there, and any poetry books are downstairs by the escalators because I love that stuff and browse those sections all the time. But we'd really need to get an employee who knows what they're doing and how to look up what you need. The lady persisted for a little while before I finally told her I had to clock in at my store in 10 minutes. She wasn't a bad person, mind you. She never talked to me in a rude manner. The lady was just super oblivious, and it still bothers me that she just didn't get it. I'm a mall employee from a different store. I have no blessed idea where everything in this store is. How about not assuming? Thankfully, I work in a factory now, far away from the melodrama that is the mall at Christmas. The next story is titled, How the Turntables. This one happened to me, except, the other way about. I went into a popular music shop, and saw a group of staff. There was a fourth member who was wearing the exact same colors and I assumed she was staff too. I asked her where the PS2 games had moved to, aging myself here, and she turned round, blanked me, and turned back to the staff. I asked again and she did the same. Third time, I asked. One of the others from the group said, "Dude, she doesn't work here." "We do," and pointed to his colleagues who were all wearing the branded tees. I apologized, explained my confusions, we all laugh. Then the woman who didn't work there turned to me and said, "Down the bottom there, on the right. Next to the t-shirts." If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel and post some bear emojis in the comments.